Sparklers, it's Sarah. Just so you know, everyone is exposed to stress. Why? Because our brain's job is to keep us safe. So anytime there's something that's important to us, our brain is gonna say, hey, being vulnerable, really just a great way for you to get hurt. So why don't we not do that? And to keep you from doing that, I'm gonna do everything that I can to keep you off stage and keep you from being confident and keep you from playing your best. Show of hands, who's had something go wrong on stage? Just like, why? This was so good in the practice room. Every professional musician, even international soloists, deal with that on a regular basis. And regular basis is like every day, multiple times a day. What's funny about this is that in our brains, neurologically, we can't criticize and create at the same time. So if we're in the process of creating and we let the criticism take over, it shuts down the creative part. But if we find that we're being pretty critical and we lean back into creating, it shuts down the critical part. All right, so this works both ways. So if everybody's exposed to stress and practice makes pathways, there's gotta be a way to be able to make pathways that help be creative and install great information. I'm so glad you thought of this because it's true. Learning something doesn't mean that you learned it to be able to perform it. If practicing for performance is different, how do we do that? With Spark practice, we learn all of these things together so that the pathways that we're making are pathways that we don't need to relearn or learn differently when the time comes to get up on stage. Spark is sound. So it's not just sound production, but it's also your voice and your conception of sound. P is performance. So these are your mental skills and also self-regulation and what I call your digestive system of stress. A is attuned intonation. When we're attuned to something, we're listening actively and we know whether we're supporting, whether we're leading, how we fit into the global texture so that then we can make music together. R is rhythm. Now this is the groove and the form and the structure and also the cadence and sort of pacing. K is kinetic integration. Now, kinetic integration is where we're bringing sort of an ensemble choreography together, but it's also making sure that our self-talk is something that's supportive and helpful. Every practice session, we're visiting all 5 Spark pillars, which means that we're building in performance readiness and confidence with nurturing, supportive self-talk from day one. The bonus for today is just a little reminder that when you're preparing for performance and you're practicing for performance, your practice strategies will change and evolve over the course of your preparation cycle. So what that means is that when you first get a piece, the practice strategies that you're going to be using are really different than when you're starting to do mock auditions or starting to play with other people or perform in lessons. When you're really performance ready, you're doing a lot of mental preparation as well and really putting the accent on refining and fine details and stuff like that. Practicing for performance is a really fun creative journey, so stay curious, mix up your strategies, ask your teachers for tips, check out the practice lab, and we'll see you really soon. Have a nice day and happy practicing.